Welcome back to the fourth quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show, along with my assistant right here, my sidekick, Mr. Andrew Guitros.
Good morning.
And I was asked recently, we keep talking about the Cerebral Palsy Clinic, and Jerry Thompson, a good friend of mine, along with his wife, Janelle, better known as Tiny in the community, and she works for LHC Group, I might add. In fact, she's a traveling trainer, all these agencies that merge in with the sister company located in Opelousas and in Lafayette. She goes out and trains them according to, you know, a lot of their procedures that they use for billing and overall management of the office. Wanted to know, Jerry asked me, he says, have you ever spoken about Herb Daly? Did you know him? I said, I knew him very well. I said, he was a therapist that worked diligently, feverishly, loving care with his hands and his knowledge at the CP clinic. He said, you sure do know him. I said, yes. He says, did you know what he did for pastime? I said, well, and somebody says, Bobby, say shooting pool. And he would love shooting pool. You know, everybody has a little hobby of some sort. And they said, he said, did you know the lady that he dated at one time? I said, yes, I think she was a classmate of mine, Velma Vilmarette. And he said, you got it. He said, you know the same Herb Daly. So to those of you who remember the Therapy Center from years back, from the beginnings, Herb was an integral part of getting it to be 60 years old today.
And of course today...
Thanks, Herb. I think he passed away a few years ago.
The lady, of course, now everyone knows, Miss Susan Thompson. Does a tremendous job and very generous. You know, for this type of work, you can't just be worried about making the most dollars. It's about giving back too, and she gives back.
I was talking to Don Stemmons over at Stemmons Incorporated. They handle feed products and products that
Horseman Supply.
Horseman Supply. That's what it is. Stemmons Horseman Supply. Well, they also work with Evangeline Downs on a March sale of 2-year-olds in training, thoroughbred horses in training. They are going to be holding that. They had just renegotiated that project with Evangeline Downs. You know, Evangeline Downs now has got some new owners, so everything's got to be renewed or changed. And they are going forward. So I just want to pass that on. You'll be getting your book and everything in advance of the sale.
I got to sneak a bunch of sponsors in. Carl's Thrifty Way. All your medicinal needs, go by Carl's here south of Opelousas. If you need prescription medication, over-the-counter medication, right now it's Christmas time. You need last-minute gifts. They've got that, or decorating ideas to redo the house. Go by Carl's. They'll help you out. And we've also got, and also the earplugs. If you bought a gun or a pistol or something for one of the people in the family, they do the customized earplugs. Very good thing to get for Christmas. Targill Seasoning and Supply over there on Wartell Street. You got seasoning, butcher supplies, cutlery, kitchen supplies. If you're a restaurant, if you're a caterer, if you're a outdoor kitchen kind of guy, if you're just a guy who likes to cook around the house, all the type of cooking things you need, from the meat grinders and sausage stuffers and rice pots, and if you want to take cake decorating classes, they got that too for adults and for kids as well. And of course, seasonings with Target is well known for. They'll do your own blend for your own use. If you're trying to can it together to sell on the grocery store market, they'll do that for you as well. Target.
When you're on West Vine Street, heading that would be east, you're going to see the big,
huge shaker can
with
the lights lit up.
With the lights lit up at night and all, just beautiful. Ted does a great job, and he's a very supportive of our
the cerebral palsy clinic as well.
His whole family is, for that matter.
You're correct.
And I like them because it's nice to do business with people that you know are not just pocketing the money and not putting it back in circulation. He's a good circulator of money.
That's the thing we want to point out. You know, even we were talking about all the different guys, we get those calls. They all tell me, I'm not worried about whether or not y'all recognize me. I'm not worried about that at all.
No.
But we're worried about letting you know who's helped, because if you're like us, you want to help people who you know help the community.
That's correct.
That's what you want to do.
Kind of like I got this thank you from the Ursuline sisters over at Our Lady of Prompt Succor in New Orleans, and I sent them a little money, and
they've been there a long time.
They had my card, and I sent a handwritten note. She says, "I was so glad to see your picture, and the writing seems so much more personal." And I think of that, and when I thought about it, every year I send a little check to Mount Carmel Elementary in Abbeville, Louisiana. I met those two nuns while Megan was having surgery in Lafayette several years ago.
Right.
And I don't know, it's part of my giving every year. Send a little check, and Miss Catherine, who I guess is the secretary for the school, sends me the most beautiful, I've shown them to you, beautifully handwritten. And so the books I gave, I put a little handwritten note to each person, all about the same, but everyone with a few different words. But what I said is, read, save, pass on to family members this little history book of St. Landry Parish. Imperial St. Landry Parish.
Correct.
That's where I got the name for
Imperial Fire
and Casualty Insurance Company, domiciled right here in Opelousas, Louisiana, doing business all over the nation today. Thank God for that. And Imperial St. Landry, most people didn't realize that St. Landry Parish encompassed, I think it was 8 parishes all the way to the Sabine River in Texas, right out of Orange, Texas. That was St. Landry. We have to have another time for that, because we kind of short on, but it's very interesting. And of course, the book can be purchased right here at Honor Palm Printing. It can be purchased at Pat Morrow's law office, and I'm sure Mr. Perrin, who I don't really know, but I know he's very, very well educated in history of Acadiana and the French people, and we need to move on.
How about this? Don Legier's Appraisal Service, our last sponsor for today. Don Legier, if you're looking to get any kind of real estate appraised, and let me tell you, Don has experience. He's been in the business for many, many years.
You can use this for
30 plus years. Estate planning.
Estate planning. You needing to borrow money. Almost every lender today requires an appraisal.
A current appraisal.
And he'll give it to you comme ça, real quick. I just used him myself.
You got it. And the other thing I like about him the most is the quietness about it. Because anytime you're doing with your money, you don't want everybody to know what you're up to. You know, you want to do it quietly. Whether you're buying or you're selling, you want to get that good value for your property without tipping off your buyer or your seller what you're up to. You're trying to do it nice and quiet to get a good feel. Don Legier can handle all that. That's in St. Landry Parish, Lafayette, St. Martin, Acadia, Evangeline, Iberia, and Vermilion parishes. You can give him a holler. If you want to drop him an email, try donlegier@charter.net. And what else we got? We got a nice note here that Mr. Kenny Turnage won the boat, motor, and trailer that Ducks Unlimited gave away, the Louisiana State Ducks Unlimited group with the raffle this year. And one of our buddies we saw in the picture, Jamie Kelly for one, Al Foray, but Kevin Doucette we saw with Piggly Wiggly here in town.
Good sponsors.
Good morning, and good cousins. Good morning, Kevin Doucette.
The fete. Fete means like...
That's a party, huh?
Party? Okay. Miss Patricia Gannon with the Lafayette's social scene, writing for the Advocate of Acadiana. And now they have our edition is Acadiana. We don't get it inside. It's the
whole
title,
the whole thing,
whole
right.
paper now. They're really pushing to grow, and had a very nice, interesting. It's a Man's World was her title, Patricia's title, and it was featuring Andy's jewelry. And you know, Andy Truxilla used to be in 2 different locations
here
here in Opelousas. His wife Kathy, of course, if I remember right, retired from the school system, and now she's helping her husband over in Lafayette. And it was a William Henry Showcase of knives, and there was a $17,000 knife sold that night. And Miss Patricia Gannon says, what we really want to know is the name of the lucky man, and we won't find that out until after Christmas.
Right, so
$17,000 knife under his tree.
Go by Fifole Drive and go to Andy Truxilla's Jewelry.
Yeah, very interesting. And we want to talk about Acadiana. So if you see something, you know who I've seen lately several times, and her dress is one shoulder shows is Miss Moss.
Yes.
Sharon Moss.
With Moss Motors.
With Moss Motors. I met she and her boyfriend, friend, Dr. Roy, who knew a lot about Bordelonville when Vicki was with me, and they got to talking on the side, and I got to visit. I had never met Sharon Moss, and I was glad that I got to meet. I was having lunch with Wilda and Cody that day in River Ranch at some little small restaurant, and she's a real easy person, and I've noticed she's in pictures all the time in the Daily Avatar.
Very active on the social
Chris
scene.
Wartell is the new writer, and I mean, she's buzzing at all these.
Who's a local as well.
A local. So Sharon has this one shoulder or the other.
When she dresses up to go out.
When she dresses up to go out. So anyhow, that's just a little something I noticed, but she's very nice and easy to speak with.
Want to remind you again, the gumbo cook-off that Steamboat puts together with Frank's downtown. It's going to happen January 25th here downtown to help little Breen Riviere, who's got cancer, less than a year old. So don't forget, if you want to get involved, you can give a call to Jason at 331-2837 or Chip at 351-6943.
And I want to give a big thank you to the Jerry DiMaggio family. The nice facility, that entertainment center that was formerly used with the Rooster Fighting Club.
Now called the Chanticleer.
Chanticleer. And they have really modernized it. They've air conditioned it, and it's theater seating for 600 plus. Very, very nice. And they charged us $0 to help the community. That's when we held our boxing reunion and Hall of Fame awardee induction. So I thank you then, Jerry, but you know, we're trying to thank a few people that did some things recently for us that was beyond, they could have charged us something and we'd have paid something, but they wanted to bring people to the Acadiana Sunset area.
Can we say Merry Christmas? They allow that still on TV, don't they? We can say Merry Christmas and
that's true, because
this is it. It's our Christmas show.
It's going to show the day after Christmas.
Merry Christmas to everybody. Remember the reason for the season, as they say.
On the 23rd, a year, 2 years, 3 years ago.
3 years.
Whoa, yeah. Gary Begnaud, Mr. Gary, who developed all of where we have our beautiful places on the point. He developed all of that land. In fact, where Ted Bellard and his family have their camp there, beautiful facilities. Miss Barbara still misses Mr. Gary, and we all do. He was a wonderful man. And is it time? Yes, it's time. Each week, Andrew and I ask you to consider attending the church of your choice, not our choice, your choice. And we try to close it with a short prayer, or I call it a thought for the day. Lord, let my whole life be one continuous hymn of praise to you. May it give honor to you and bring joy and peace to human beings. Boy, we need that bad. This whole world is just in a rage of fighting and disagreement amongst each other. So Christmas Day, hopefully, peace around the world. Thanks for viewing. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
And
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.